Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And what is this watch? Well, it is a Rolex certified pre-owned Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona in white gold with Oysterflex strap bracelet and a diamond set lacquer dial. This is reference 116519LN, debuted at Bosworld in 2017 alongside similarly Oysterflex clad yellow gold and rose gold counterparts. Before we dive any deeper into this specific watch, let's talk a little bit about what it means to be Rolex certified pre-owned. So the 1916 Company only has two types of Rolex watch, new and Rolex certified pre-owned. We don't have generally used or aftermarket Rolex watches. It's either all Rolex all the time or not at all. So Rolex certified pre-owned is important because it means the watch has been authenticated by Rolex itself before entering the pre-owned pipeline, and then all parts are Rolex factory. Any refinishing and watchmaking services that may be necessary are to Rolex standard, maintaining the pedigree of the watch. A couple of things, cool things, come with the watch. First, if it does have the original boxes, papers, and accessories from retail, you're going to get those. But no matter what, you're going to get a set that is unique to the CPO program. So you're going to get a Rolex certified pre-owned warranty. This is 2 years and globally valid. So it is not backed by a retailer, it's backed by Rolex itself. If you buy your watch in Buenos Aires and you need service in Mexico City, just present this card and you will receive service. That's what it means to be globally valid and Rolex backed. Also important, we have a little manual here that includes elements like the location of those points of service, information about Rolex.com, how to use and care for your watch, also information about the Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program and Rolex's values generally. So this is a little user's guide. We also get a leatherette wallet that includes a warranty manual with more into the weeds details about how the warranty actually works. We also have a lovely outer box, which is specific to certified pre-owned, plus inside of that, we have this little leatherette travel pouch. Leatherette on the outside, suede material on the inside, and then we've got this little button closure. This is great if you want to travel with the watch in your luggage or you want to travel with one in your luggage and maybe one on your wrist. This is very useful, and of course it's CPO branded. My favorite part of the CPO, box, papers, and accessories, is a little CPO-specific hang tag, which in addition to fun design, has a very cool inlaid hologram, and the kid in me still loves that. So the watch is cool. Launched in 2017, there were the yellow, the white, and the rose gold Daytonas with ceramic bezel on Oysterflex strap bracelets. This one's a little bit different from that original trio in that it includes a gem set dial. So brilliant cut diamonds on white gold indices, giving it a little bit more luxe. And luxe is always a good thing with a luxury watch. The Daytona, officially 40 millimeters in diameter, but it wears a bit smaller than some of the other 40 millimeter Rolex watches. So it's 47.5 from lug tip to lug tip. It's 12.2 millimeters thick. It's 40 in diameter, and then there's a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. You can see on these strap-clad Daytonas, Rolex uses this little end link insert so that there's really no daylight between strap and case. It's a very integrated OEM look. Oysterflex officially is a bracelet, not a strap, though the aesthetic is of a rubber strap. Inside the rubber strap, there is a titanium nickel alloy, which is designed to be as flexible as rubber without suffering metal fatigue or tearing. So the idea here is you have the security of a bracelet because it can't tear through like rubber can. Taking a look at the bottom, there's a little bellows system that's designed to help make up the last few millimeters of fit between the strap and your wrist. Keep in mind, this strap bracelet cannot be cut because it does have that metal band inside. Several different Oysterflex strap bracelet lengths are available, so this will not be a barrier to ownership no matter how big or small your wrist. Inside the clasp, easy link, 5 millimeter of in-out tool-free adjustment. It is extremely convenient. And then inside, if you look a little bit deeper, you can see there are 3 pairs of divots, so you can use your strap tool to change the anchoring point inside those 3 different predefined slots. So you have a couple of different ways, even without replacing the bracelet, to fine-tune the fit. This is a recent model Rolex clasp. You can see It is not the absolute latest, which would include glide lock. This is the pre-2022 version of the clasp that was made from 17 to 21, and it features this lift lock beak and hook system, so you can see how that lifts up and unlatches the beak from the hook. That's the first lock. This is the second lock. Note the presence of that little kerf so you can dig your nail in, even with gloves in my case, and pop open the clasp. That is very user-friendly. A note about the gold used on this watch. It's what's called gray gold in the industry. Gray gold is an 18-karat white gold alloy that is solid all the way through, meaning the color you see on the outside is the color on the inside. So if it were scratched, you wouldn't see a different color shining through. Most important, this is the type of white gold that does not need to be rhodium plated. Solid case back, generally the rule on Rolex watches historically, although on some of the newer models that is changing. We have screw-down crowns for the chronograph as well as the primary winding and setting crown. Now take a quick look there. You can see 3 dots, the center one large. That means we have a Rolex triplock crown in gold. That's what it means to have 3 dots, triplock with the center dot large. That is a gold triplock crown. 100-meter water resistance, Cerachrom ceramic bezel, and all of the indices, the characters, you can see all of these letters, numerals, and indicators, they're all platinum deposits inside the scratch-resistant ceramic, so that this will be a durable, long-term solution providing insurance against fading, oxidizing, or tarnish. The same could be said of the white gold hardware on the dial, the indices, the numerals, as well as the crown and the hands. Because they are gold, they will not change their color, fade, or become speckled with time. You can see we have an azurage or concentric patterns on the metal parts of the dial scales. And we'll do a quick lume shot so you can see how luminescent this watch is. Chromolite blue lume, it's a Rolex specialty. You can see for the hands, hours and minutes. The watch is a chronograph, which means it's basically a stopwatch, and I'm going to show you a few of its functions. The first thing to note is that it is a column wheel vertical clutch chronograph. So the column wheel gives you that classic crisp actuation feel and sound. And then vertical clutch means that when you start the chronograph, there's no extraneous motion, jump, stagger, or hop to the seconds hand. A lateral clutch has that problem, a vertical clutch does not. See how smooth that is? Also, because there's no additional wear and tear with a vertical clutch, you can leave it running if you just prefer to have center seconds. Of course, if you pull the crown out all the way, you'll stop everything. The chronograph, hours, minutes, even the running seconds hand down at 6 o'clock. This allows you to set the watch to a reference time. The timepiece has a remarkably solid crown withdrawn or partially collapsed in the winding position. It has no wobble. It's a very secure setup. Not all crowns, even on aggressive sports watches, are this solid. There's also very little dead angle as you turn the crown. The angular displacement necessary to move the hands is very limited, and setting is extremely precise. The dial is a lush, lovely, rich, glossy black lacquer, and the tachymeter scale can be used alongside the chronograph to gauge the speed of an object, such as a race car over a kilometer. Start the chronograph when the race car enters the kilometer, and at the point it reaches the end of the interval, you stop the chrono. Now you can see that race car was moving at 300 miles an hour or 300 kilometers per hour. We're going to just pretend this is kilometers, and that translates to about 180 miles an hour, a little bit more. Inside we have Rolex caliber 4130, bidirectional automatic winding. It features a rotor on a ball bearing. It was the first Rolex automatic to feature a ball bearing rotor. It's more durable against shock. A free-sprung balance with a full balance bridge, making for robust shock resistance. The 4 Hz beat rate paired with the stop seconds function, column wheel vertical clutch chronograph, 44 pivot jewels. It features an overcoil hairspring that has an architecture centering the mass of the hairspring, so in different physical positions it'll keep the same time. It is isochronous. The hairspring itself is made of a niobium zirconium alloy known as parachrome bleu that also makes this watch exceptionally anti-magnetic. So shock resistant, anti-magnetic, and water resistant. It's the hat trick. Lots to love in this watch. A true 72-hour power reserve, which it's worth mentioning is just a little bit more than the Rolex 3200 series, which is 70. This is actually a full 72. But details matter, so I'm including it. If you love this watch, which is a Rolex certified pre-owned Cosmograph Daytona. Reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. Oh, one last cool feature. Not only is this a chronometer, but see that superlative chronometer, which means the watch is tested before it leaves the workshop, running no worse than -2 plus 2 seconds per day. That is better than the COSC. Reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.